Hello everyone. FS Flying School is published by FS Inventions, and FS Inventions also publishes a product called FS Instant Approach, and I'm going to try to show you very quickly how it works and how I can very quickly help you practice a load of approaches on just a short break. Might be a lunch break or whenever you just find a little bit of time. Here we are in Microsoft Flight Simulator. We're lined up for an approach to KGRB, that's Green Bay in the United States. And let's say, for example, I could fly this approach, or I could say, no, you know what, there's some nice airports that I'd like to take a look at. So what I do, I'm not going to explain the user interface at this point. I'm just going to show you how quickly it can work. So I'm just going to bring up FS Instant Approach, and I think I would like to go over to Clintonville. So there we go. Let's get that information loaded up, and then we connect there. Let's see, we're just loading up just for a second here, and yeah, that's it. We're ready to go. The airport is actually in front of us. We can just about make it out there, but we're lined up for the runway there. Let's say, for example, we didn't want to go straight in. We wanted to start at the very beginning of the base leg to that runway. So let's disconnect and reconnect, and now we'll be on the base leg, and all we have to do is look over our shoulder here to the side, and there's the runway, and that's where we're headed at the moment. Let's say we wanted to instead start downwind, so we'll disconnect and reconnect again, and now we're ready to fly downwind. Let's go ahead and look over our shoulder, and there we go. We can see the airport in the distance there. We're at the beginning of the downwind leg, and once we get to this point at any airport that we go to, any airfield we go to, all we then have to do was set up one thing that will jump in Microsoft Flight Simulator. As soon as I unpause this, you may see the altimeter jump. It'll just set itself to the correct, let's see what happens. There we go, just set itself immediately to the correct altitude. So you may not see that when you click the button to position yourself in the new place, but as soon as you unpause it to start flying, you are at the correct altitude, and you can fly your approach. Let's say, for example, we wanted to, let's take a look, we wanted to go over to Appleton. So let's go and do that. So we select our approach airport, and now we're a bit more discerning. We don't want just the first runway in the list for some reason. Let's say we want, let's go to I don't know, runway 21 for example, and we want to, instead of doing this downwind, we want to intersect the final approach 45 degrees. We'll go with that, and let's see what we got now. So now we are coming in at a 45-degree angle and going to intersect final approach to the runway. It's not a particularly good spot for looking at the runway in this particular view, but let's see if we can do that at a different airport perhaps. Okay, so here we are lined up for 09 at Oshkosh, and let's say we decide we want to take a trip to Sheboygan. So we'll go ahead and put Sheboygan in there. Okay, and there we have it. And then let's say we want to do an ILS approach here. So we're going to go to runway, let's see here, let's go to runway 22. We can see its ILS, and we can see its frequency there. What we've got set up down here is to have FS Instant Approach 2021 automatically set the ILS onto the Nav1 radio, and also set the Nav1 OBS for us to the runway heading. So now we'll disconnect from where we were, and we'll go ahead and connect, and that should shoot us over to Sheboygan, and we can see that we have got right here, we have got the frequency set on Nav1. You will, sharp-eyed, you'll see that Nav1 OBS has not been set yet, but as I said before, it's one of those things that jumps in right quick as soon as we unpause the simulator, and boom, there it is, it's set up. So I'll just grab the controls here for a second and pause the simulator again so you can see how that works. Okay, so now let's say we're going to pop back to Green Bay, just to show how we can hop around here. Okay, there's Green Bay, and let's say want a bit of variety, so let's try going for I don't know, 1700 hours. We'll shoot over there and see what we got. So disconnect and then connect again, and very nice, we got some very nice twilight here as we approach that runway. And again, just to show you, if we were, for example, going to be downwind, we can disconnect and put ourselves in the downwind situation, and we just look over our shoulder. There's the runway, and we're beginning our downwind. Or alternatively, let's go base. Let's do that again just to get a quick look at that. And we look over our shoulder. Let's settle down a second there. Whoop, there we go. And we're just about to turn on to base. And we could alternatively, let's see, just a couple more features I wanted to show you. And that was that we have the ability to approach random airports. We can set filters for those. Filters could determine more or less what country they're going to be in, what type of runway surface we're going to randomly be approaching, and so forth. I'm trying to keep this short, don't want to get into too much complexity, so just one other feature I did want to show is that we've got repeat after landing here. So what that will do is once we've flown our approach and then we've come to a stop, FS Instant Approach will automatically put us back on approach so we can fly it straight over again without wasting any time. And in that way, you know, folks have told us about being able to easily practice 10 approaches at lunchtime, just boom, 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 you know, possibly whilst eating a sandwich at the same time. I'm not entirely sure. But the other thing that we've got is the ability to intersect from the side, as I said before. You can pick how far out you are, how many nautical miles you are, what speed you're flying at when the approach starts. That can be more convenient. Once you've picked your favorite configurations, you could save them as well to different scenario files, so you don't have to fill in all the blanks. You can just load up a scenario file, and that will regenerate some of your favorite situations that you have perhaps done before. And the other thing you can do is you can set the altitude as well, which is not required. It's automatically calculated for you. But for example, let's say I wanted to start this approach, but for some reason I wanted to start it. So let's just jump back here. There we go. We're on downwind, and that's where we are. But let's just for a challenge, we said we were going to. Sorry, we're about to turn on the base. But just to show the point, we could show where we've flown poorly, we've miscalculated. And instead I'm going to go for above airfield level, and we're going to say that instead of being about 100 feet above airfield level as we are now, let's imagine that we were wildly off and we were 2,000 feet above airfield level. So I'll disconnect and then go back. Okay, and then let's see, make the magic work, and we go over here, and whoa, we've got it's a long way down there. So we might think about what our options are there. So once again, that's FS Instant Approach 2021 for Microsoft Flight Simulator. A quick look at what it looks like in action, and there are lots more features, including the flight mapping, which I haven't even touched on, but we're just keeping it short this time. And I hope you have enjoyed the presentation, and once again, many thanks for your time.